I moved to Japan during a pandemic. Yeah, basically today is going to be a story time about moving to Japan during coronavirus and how all that went down. I know a lot of my viewers that watch my vlogs probably thought previously that I lived in Japan, but no, that is not the case. I just traveled to Japan a lot, probably more than my wallet could have handled, but I did it anyway. So yeah, I realized that every time I go to Japan, it's never enough. So I thought, well, I'll just live here. So I got an English teaching job and moved here 3 months ago. That was March 23rd. That was 2 days before they started the 2-week quarantine rule. If you were to fly into Japan from another country, they would put you up in a government-run hotel and you'd have to literally stay in your room for 2 weeks and do absolutely nothing. And they would literally just give you food and be like, don't leave your room. So yeah, that was a close one. So yeah, I'll start from the beginning. Basically, my plane flight over here was empty. There was almost nobody on this plane. I'll put a picture. I took a picture of the seats in front of me. Yeah, there's nobody there. Basically, every single person on this plane had a whole row to themselves, which was really nice, to be honest. And that's probably the nicest plane flight I've ever been on and will ever be on. I'd say about 99.9% of people when I got off the plane were wearing masks. So it was a big thing in Japan as well as America. I think March 23rd was when the news was just starting to come out and people were like just starting to not want to leave their houses and only going out for groceries. But I moved here actually at a very, very good time. Honestly, it was probably the best time to move given the current situation because I moved 4 days before they did the deadline for getting the stipend check from Abe-san in Japan. So I got double the money. I got $1,000 from Abe-san and I got $1,200 from Trump in America. So yeah, that was one perk amongst many other horrible points. So yeah, only pluses there. But I got to Japan. They had us do a week-long job training, which they actually shortened a few days, I think. And they actually cut the number of people in half, so they split us up into 2 different groups, which was kind of sad because I was excited to meet a lot of people, but I didn't get to meet as many as I would have liked to. One of my coworkers actually didn't make it here to Japan on time, so they got quarantined for 2 weeks in that government-run hotel. And yeah, that's just horrible. I feel so bad for that person. Yeah, that happened. They moved us into our apartment and we were supposed to start work a week after we moved in. So we started and then we only worked for 3 days and then they were like, oh, yeah, school's gonna be delayed a lot. I don't know, we're not gonna have much for you to do. So I basically just sat in the teacher's room for a week and a half doing pretty much nothing until they told us, oh yeah, school's gonna be delayed even more than we thought. Originally they were like, oh, it's only gonna be delayed 2 weeks. Nope. It got delayed, I think, a month and a half. So yeah, they basically gave us a month off, which was not the greatest actually because they took away our summer vacation time. So basically the normal summer break that we would have, they took that away and shortened it into 2 weeks, and they gave us all this free time with absolutely fantastically nothing to do. So I basically just sat here in this apartment alone doing nothing for a month. And that was great. That sucked. So that was a really weird feeling. I'm sure we're all in very weird moods right now because I was excited to go to Japan, start living life again, start doing things, start traveling, making more travel vlogs for you guys, but that didn't happen. And yeah, I just sat in my apartment doing nothing and it was horrible. So now, what is it like in Japan? Everything's basically back to normal. There are still some nuances, like of course there's still hand sanitizer in basically every store that you have to use when you walk in. You're not required at most places to wear a face mask right now, but honestly 90% of people still are wearing face masks. You are required to wear it at my school all day, every day, which is kind of really horrible, to be honest. It feels like you're in a sauna, especially since it's so warm out right now. It's probably 80 degrees and humid. So yeah, I mean, it's a necessary evil, but it sucks, that's for sure. In terms of America, though, today is actually the worst case number of coronavirus for America so far. So yeah, I'm really happy to not be in America right now. It's definitely a weird time there, and just in the world in general. Yeah, it's definitely been hard mentally, especially moving to a new place without knowing that many people, especially in the area that I'm in right now. It's kind of in the countryside in the middle of Shizuoka and Tokyo, and I basically don't know anyone here. And the only people that I could really hang out with were my new coworkers that I met. I couldn't go see my friends in Tokyo or go adventure anywhere outside of the prefecture. So yeah, it sucked. But it's getting better. I visited my friends in Tokyo last weekend. They lifted the prefecture travel ban. Before they were saying that you couldn't travel between prefectures, even though the Shinkansen was still running, the bullet train was still running, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's my story about moving here. It's been weird, but probably not as weird as living in America right now would be. I'm pretty sure I'd be without a job if I was in America right now, and for all the people without a job and without knowing when their next paycheck is, I am so sorry. I definitely have had nightmares that happened to me, and I just can't even imagine, and I hope that it gets better for you guys. So that's my story about moving to Japan during a pandemic. But yeah, I'm super excited to be living here now. I'm so excited to be making more videos for you guys, so thank you so much for watching my little story time video. If you have any other questions about Japan, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!